Hi everyone, this is Jama with Women's Net. We're so excited today to introduce to you our 2024 January winners. We have with us today Dr. Kankeu with Dr. Kanks hair and skincare products, and we also have with us Ania from Zemlia, founder of Zemlia. And so I do want to mention our business category winner, Emily Ekbom. She couldn't be with us today, but please make sure to check out her winners page where it has all this amazing information about her business, which is Rowdy Fabrications. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Let's begin. We're so excited to learn more about your businesses. Congratulations again. And maybe Dr. Kankeu, can you please tell us a little bit about your business, Dr. Kanks?
Okay, so we manufacture in Richmond, Virginia, all plant-based and organic skin and hair care products. No sulfates, no parabens, no phthalate. We're so proud to use plant-based ingredients and very few synthetic ingredients in the products. That's what we do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Anya, can you please tell us about Zemlia?
Hi, yeah. So my name is Ania. It's actually Zemlia, and we're on a mission to simplify decision making. So we're tackling quite a big problem for folks of just cognitive overwhelm. We're seeing trends that a lot of people want to adjust their lifestyle and match their values to their decision making, but there's just so much information out there, so little time, and so much anxiety around decision making. So we're building a platform that helps drive decision making towards holistic sustainability. So thinking about health outcomes, financial independence, and environmental impact. How do we take, the 35,000 decisions apparently, based on some research that we make every day as humans, and align those decisions towards a long-term sustainable roadmap for our life, but also how do we make incremental changes to be moving forward and kind of unlock that cognitive overwhelm.
Wonderful. So there's definitely is so much information overload and it's hard to decipher, what's legit and what's not legit. So what a nice thing. And actually it goes wonderfully with even what Dr. Kankeu is doing with her product, which is amazing and natural and sustainable. So maybe, Dr. Kanks, can you tell us a little bit? We know your product is an effective hair and skincare products that you have. What effective strategies have you used to let others know about your business?
So actually, when I launched my business, I created a website,
Mhm.
and I started running Facebook ads, and I thought, oh my gosh, it was going to be amazing, and I was going to have customers using Facebook ads myself. I didn't hire somebody. I was running ads myself. It didn't work out at all. So after talking to my small SBDC local chapter who helps small business owners, they told me actually that maybe I should try to sell my product at farmers market because it's all plant-based, organic, handmade, and it's been a game changer for me. So that's actually how I started selling my products, going to farmers markets and just waving at people, stopping them,
Mhm.
and having them sample the product. Um, so this is what I do. These like 80% of my revenue up till now were generated, just by selling products business to consumer directly at the farmers market. Then another thing that I saw was that because at the farmers market, I had that relationship with people, when they sample the products, they buy it easily. I realized that maybe we can actually do that outside of the market. So when I opened my first shop here in Richmond, what I did, I wanted people to come there. They know how to advertise. So we went to the mall, several
Mhm.
malls, and we had little gift baskets with
Mhm.
samples of the products in it. And then we gave those baskets to people who were just, walking with flyers and all the information so they can actually just try, then
Mhm.
come shop or just go on the website. So word of mouth for me, has been a really big thing just because I didn't have the money to invest in hiring the experts who know how to properly advertise and do all those things. That's why I wanted to share it with people, because a lot of people I know are struggling with online advertising, and everybody want to try online advertising, but what happens when you don't have the money, especially that you have to invest in marketing regardless, right? You cannot just stop, try, and just stop. You need the budget, like monthly budget. If you do not have that budget, how do you make money? So I think it's something that people should know about, word of mouth, going out there, giving samples, talking to people. And now that I'm more comfortable about, what I do and the fact that the products truly work, everywhere where I go now, I try to talk about my business. I go to school where my son goes to school, the teachers, I try to bring some samples. Whenever I meet people, I try to always like bring the products, give it to them so that just keep on, talking about it that way.
I love that so much. And I absolutely love the fact that you actually brought your product into people's hands and you did whatever it takes. It was going to farmers markets and, going to malls and giving out samples. And, you have such a high quality product. And once you get it into people's hands, it's just recognized and it's awesome and they love it. And so what a fabulous idea and what a great way to start. So great. And then maybe Anya, as I mentioned before, there's so much information overload all over the internet about sustainability and living more holistically and how to figure out what's legit or not legit. So tell us maybe a little bit about what makes your business stand out from what other people are doing.
Yeah, that's a great question. And something as an early stage startup, we've been thinking about 24/7, actually. I think there's a lot of players in the space, and I see Zemlia as kind of a partner rather than a competitor. But I think what's missing is kind of a higher level approach that helps people think across all areas of their life. There's a lot of really great niche solutions. So if you're a homeowner and you want to electrify your house, there's companies that focus on that. If you want to look at your financials, there's a company for that. There's all these kinds of niche solutions. But as a human being, like you don't think of like all of those parts of your life as separate. And that would require you to work with all these different companies, and there's different apps that use kind of a more carbon footprint model. So we're taking a different approach in the fact that we're very broad. So we're looking across all areas of your life and try to make, again, decision making easier across. So we're not building maybe necessarily the depth of expertise in each area, but looking to partner with existing niche solutions, but having that higher level of like across all of these things, how do you make a plan and start to make incremental changes? Thinking again across like health, financial, and environment. So not necessarily putting climate front and center. And also going a little bit away from this carbon footprint model, but thinking of more of what you can contribute and empowering individuals to act where they can. We've seen that the carbon footprint model causes more anxiety than action for folks, because it's very much of like, how bad are you and how much harm are you causing, which for some people is inspiring to act, but it's a very kind of a scarcity mindset of like, I can't fly, I can't eat meat, I have to give up everything and become smaller because you want to minimize your impact. But that gets people to shrink, which causes, again, like this anxiety of like every action I take has harm. So we're trying to counter that with a more, again, like holistic, very data driven, but very people centered approach. So really embodying the mentality of meeting people where they're at and acknowledging that not everybody needs to be perfect or even aspire to be perfect, but what can each individual do based on their budget, where they live, what their values are, and where they want to go within their long-term life roadmap, and how can we kind of look at these three aspects of your life, which everybody, I think you can agree that everybody cares about: health, costs, and their impact on, the quality of the air where they live, and, living in a climate that is not too hot or has like catastrophic, fires and droughts. So what we're seeing how do we start to empower people to take the decisions that they make on a daily basis and feel empowered to act, which is more of like a comforting, like we got this, like there's a plan, we're going to be okay, encountering that, like that anxiety that people have. So trying to both position ourselves as like this umbrella solution, but also countering some of the conversations that are having there to a more positive point of view.
Mm.
I love that because you're also meeting people where they're at. And even sometimes we think living holistically or more sustainably or whatever, like it's not affordable, it's not practical. And so it sounds like you've really created a roadmap where people will be able to find an individualized, personal way in which they can lead a much more meaningful life. And so that's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, thank you.
And so really both of you have gone through so many lessons in your journeys as businesswomen and founders of companies. And maybe Dr. Kanks, what are some lessons that you've learned along the way?
So I feel like I've been learning from my mistakes. I say that a lot, like especially when you're on a budget, it's hard, right? You don't have the experts, you don't have like a big team. You you're just navigating, like what am I doing? And I feel like I should write a book about all the mistakes that I've made for real, throughout this journey because it's been crazy. But one thing that I want to share is that um 2024 for me, I said I am not putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm not doing it, you know. So to give you a little bit of context, when I launched my business, like I said, my business model was very simple at that time. It was business to consumer. We were selling the product at the farmers market, right?
Mhm.
And I saw an interest. And I thought, well, if I want to grow, all I have to do is do more farmers markets, right? At first, that's what I thought. I was like, let's just do more farmers market. Let's just hire more people, and then it'll be great, right? That's what I thought. And then I was like, okay, farmers market and only during the weekend. Maybe what I should do is actually go to the mall, open a kiosk at the mall. And when I did that, I thought, let me go and open a kiosk at the mall where we're already selling products, So it's a new demographic. It's like in the city where we're actually having farmers market. It should be easy. It wasn't. The people who were shopping at that mall were actually a different demographic from the people who were shopping at the farmers market, you know? Um, and that's the thing. When you're scaling up, even when you think that you're keeping the same business model, you're not. The moment you start scaling up, it's a different business model by itself, you know? And and I found myself in deep trouble just by I opened two kiosks at two different malls, and it was a disaster. I had to pay employee to be there at the kiosk for long hours, but the mall is never busy the whole day. The mall is busy only at certain time, you know. Like
Mhm.
it was so stressful. I was able to get out of my lease, but I cannot even imagine what would have happened wouldn't have been able to get out of my lease, you know. Um, and that's not only the only thing. I feel like the moment I try to scale up and scale up too quickly, because I thought, well, if my revenue, my business model right now by doing farmers market, I'm able to, let's say, at that point, I was making probably like 8,000 per month.
Mhm.
If I just double it, I should be able to make 16,000 per month. If I just double it, I thought it was going to follow that logic. It did not follow that logic. And what happened is that I have increased my expenses. My revenue increased, but I also increased my expenses like crazy. And then there are things that will happen that you haven't planned, that you don't know of. It doesn't matter how well prepared you are, unless it's only when you're doing that thing that you're going to realize that I need contingency plans. But if all the money that you have now is just to actually pay all the bills that you have to pay, you don't have safety,
Yeah.
you know, and things like the weather that will have been a problem, health issues that I've had, employees who will quit. I had 3 sales rep who quit the same day, just when we had like huge events that we
Oh.
already paid for,
Mhm.
you know, it's hard. And even just the economy right now, you
Mhm.
know, nothing is certain.
Mhm.
So I said 2024, I don't want to put myself in a situation again where I'm like stressing about money. You know, my products are great. It's true. Um, we have the ability to sell them when people try them and all that. It's true. But what if people are not able to try them?
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, how do I do? Because online, I haven't yet developed a strategy that will allow me to sell very well online. The only place right now online where we're doing well, it will be Amazon and Macy's Marketplace. But on my own website, if I were to run Facebook ad on my own, I haven't developed yet a strategy like that, and I still don't have the budget to hire all those big, companies to do that for me. So I said, 2024, I am not putting all my eggs in one basket. It's true, the business is growing, things are going well, but you never know. You need, like, I've been in business for 3 years now, you know, how about having different streams of income? It's not because my business is skin and hair care that it has to be only skin and hair care. You know, I realize that I have a warehouse with office space and it's huge. We ship packages to Amazon, we ship packages to Macy's Marketplace and to our customers all the time. How about opening a ship and pack and ship business also? Because those are things that I'm already doing. We have like all the material to ship packages, you know? So I said, I'm working on it right now. I'm like, I won't have to rent space. I like basically, I don't have to do anything that just bring your packages, we get it ready for you, and we ship it for you, you know? So
Mhm.
I said, okay, that's one stream of income that I want to, a new one that I want to kind of implement or like launch. Um, and then, having something that can give you, even if it's just a little bit of money, but you know that it's like your safety and you put it somewhere like in a saving, you're not using that money, even if it can help you maybe when things are getting harder, but like I'm like, I do not want to put all my eggs ever again into one basket,
Mhm.
you know. So yeah. And take a little bit of time, think about contingency plans every time that I'm trying to scale up, because things will happen. And when you don't have people around you who've been through what you're going through and who can guide you, be ready for, unplanned situation to happen. Yeah.
So powerful. Your point that you said about scaling up requires a different business plan. Uh, that is so true. And then even the idea of scaling up so quickly, but then not accounting for things like emergencies or, am I, yeah, I'm selling more products, but I'm also spending more product on things like employees and kiosk space and all of that.
Exactly.
So all of these considerations, that go into running a business. And so that is a very, very
Exactly. Like even just getting my products at Wegmans, it's just one Wegmans, but it cost me a lot. I didn't know that at that time. I thought the most difficult part was to pitch, the products to them and have it on the shelf. But the most difficult part is to stay actually there,
yeah.
and it did cost money, that's why even right now, then I'm having conversation with them about expanding and all that. I know I'm very cautious.
Mhm.
I'm very, very cautious. And I'm going to take my time and make sure that, you know, everything is in place in case of whatever. I'm going to have like 1,000 scenarios of things that could happen in the world, and make sure that everything is okay. And right now, I'm actually even looking for people who've worked with retailers nationwide before. So I knew a little bit what I'm getting myself into before, going to just blindly and just realizing that, oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, we know that these questions are so important, and these exact questions are the same things that are going to help you to continue to have a successful business. And we're so excited about your plans for the next few months and for how you're going to be using this award. And so we really can't wait to see how it's going to go and to learn about all your little eggs and how they've helped support your this wonderful thing that you've built. And so Ania, maybe you are our startup grant winner. And so there's a lot of things that I could see you nodding your head as Dr. Kanks is talking, relating to all these different things and considerations that you've been working through. And so as a startup, how can the Women's Net Network show support for your business?
Yeah, it's a great question. I definitely relate to the idea of iteration and being prepared for all the problems. I think that's if we were to write our own job descriptions, I think as founders or presidents, CEOs, whatever the title that we decide to give ourselves as business starters, for lack of a better term, I think if we were to write that job description, I feel like contingency planning, being prepared for problems and quick problem solving and strategic shifting is kind of our main job description. That and fundraising. It's a very strange job that you get self-assigned when you start a business. I think since we're a tech company, so we don't have a physical product that you can try, but we are building our initial version of our tool. And just to give a quick overview, we're building a trifecta of solutions because we feel like, again, like holistically, it's going to take more than one thing to help solve this problem. So we're building a set of personalized solutions that can, again, give you a plan, but also help with that step-by-step guidance. So it's part AI sidekick that's trained on your data that can give you kind of guidance and recommendations that are specific for your situation. So you don't get like generic one size fits all advice. There's a community aspect because I think that's so incredibly important to connect with others that are struggling with the same kinds of problems, maybe even in your area that you can connect with and kind of do peer learning and support, maybe even a type of accountability. And then having data dashboards. So being able to create a profile and log in and actually see your impact over time. So a lot of these solutions, you don't feel them when you actually implement something like this. So say, if we're thinking about the environmental aspect of things, if you install, solar panels, maybe your solar panels come with an app and you can see how much energy you've generated, but other things are not as clear. So example, if you have like a specialized recycling service that you sometimes even have to pay for, you don't feel all of the recycling that you do. Or if you install something like a low flow shower faucet, you don't feel all of the wet water that you're saving. So you don't feel that satisfaction. You feel that you're paying for it, which is kind of a negative part of it. But like if you're having positive impact and health outcomes and finances, it's so difficult to visualize impact so broadly across everything that you're doing. So once you have your personalized plan, we really want to take those things that are invisible and be able to visualize them for folks, and be able to see them over time. Because a lot of these small actions that we do, they do accumulate over time, which is where we see impact in the individual level. There's also systemic impact of like you share things with your community and like in mass, like if all of us decide to do something, then together, we can impact real change. But on an individual level, you don't get that satisfaction. So can we show the accumulation of your own impact to kind of give you that satisfaction that you can then, maybe inspire you to do more, because that you can see that your real impact is actually, shown to you in your data, which is kind of another part of what we are hoping to achieve is be able to use data and AI, and have that be a benefit to individuals. There's we produce so much data online, and a lot of our tools are free now. A lot of our social media tools and all of that data that we produce of things we like and things we buy is not given back to you for your own benefit. It's being sold for other purposes online. So we as a company are exploring this idea of how can we use data and the developments in AI and actually drive benefit for people individually and as a society as a whole. So giving the benefit of all the data that you produce to help inform your decision making, and together we can have a better life individually and a better tomorrow together as a society. That's very big, I know, but like we're very, very broad, big vision kind of folks here at Zemlia.
What we do, we love the fact that you can even just celebrate or even reflect on the positive things that we have done, like something so silly, like I changed I don't use the big laundry soap bottles anymore. I use these papers and I throw them in, and then even the envelope is recyclable, and so I love it, and it's amazing. But how awesome would it be to measure that? I know it's a good thing what I'm doing, but just to have that joy factor, and don't we all need a little bit of joy in our life? So I really love that it's based on not the fear-based doom and gloom of, right? We all know that the climate crisis that we're going through, and just even the crisis, whether it's physical, emotional, all sorts of crisis that we all we either are going through ourselves or we know a loved one that is, and so it's coming from a positive place. So that's very awesome.
Yeah, so something like for your example, be tracking, the amount of plastic that you are saving from landfill from that specific decision, because otherwise you don't see the plastic that you don't buy. That's not something you track. But like you can potentially visualize, somewhere in the landfill, like over a year, you would have made this mountain of plastic, but like that doesn't exist anymore. So like you don't feel what doesn't exist, but can we give you that, give you credit basically for all that you do. And I just actually realized I give you context, but not actually the answer to your question. What the women in the network can do is you can go to our website, so it's zemlia.co, and you can actually sign up for our waitlist. We're developing the first version of our tools within the next month or so. So if anybody's interested in being kind of the first tester cohort of folks that get in there, that's incredibly valuable for early stage startups. As we're trying to figure out exactly what we're building, how we're building, we need as much input and as diverse a population as possible to use our tools, to give us feedback, to tell us like this doesn't work, this doesn't speak to my anxiety or my the problems that I'm having. How do we make this better? So as many people as potentially could be interested to sign up for that wait list. Just being on the wait list is a good sign, but then like actually coming in, using the tools, giving us feedback would be incredibly valuable. So that's our ask if anybody's interested.
Wait list. Sounds wonderful. And Dr. Kanks, I know that we can purchase your product through, as you mentioned, Wegmans, one of the Wegmans stores, and also
Wegmans in Charlottesville as of right now. But yeah, website, which is www.drkanks.com, on Amazon and Macy's Marketplace.
Awesome. Wonderful. And so there you have it, Women's Net Network, our January 2024 winners. And we are so excited. We look forward to your updates at the end of the year. And we do also look forward to learning along the way all the wonderful things that you're doing. We do try to follow you guys on social network, and also even any emails you have to let us know, please continue to let us know, because it also makes us super excited when we see you all celebrate your successes too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.